It was their common love of music and talent for singing that initially brought these three young women together. As it turned out, their teamwork as a trio would be the key to take them all the way to the top of the charts. However, just as they had begun work on their follow-up album, the rug was abruptly pulled out from under them, and they disappeared. Let's find out whatever happened to R&B group Divine. Kia Thornton from Inglewood, New Jersey, Nikki Bratcher from Irvington, New Jersey, and Tanya Tash from Brooklyn, New York were just teenagers when they were handpicked to form Divine in 1995. Originally, they were each solo singers when they heard a New York-based entertainment group was looking for local talent to form a girl group. After hearing each girl individually, it was obvious that these three would be the perfect combination. Renowned music industry executive Ruben Rodriguez, CEO and founder of Pendulum Records, signed them, and they were then ultimately released on his independent label, Red Ant Entertainment. In the summer of 1998, they exploded right out of the gate with their debut single, Lately. It skyrocketed all the way to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The song was also released internationally, but didn't fare as well on the charts as it did in the US. Their debut album titled Fairy Tales dropped 2 months later. At the top of the year in January 1999, the group released their follow-up single, a cover of the George Michael hit One More Try. The track made it into the top 40 on the Hot 100 and the top 20 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. Of course, the next logical step, especially after achieving a number 1 hit, would be to get on the road. And they did. The trio got the opportunity to embark on a tour with boy band NSYNC and R&B singer Tatiana Ali, who's best known for her role as Ashley Banks on the television sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then, after only 1 album and 2 successful singles, the group went radio silent and disbanded in 2000. In an interview with the Love to Laugh podcast in January 2021, Kia and Nikki both admitted that they weren't into the innocent, eclectic image the group portrayed. They were more the city girl type, but had to be trendsetters and set themselves apart from all the other girl groups out at the time. However, now looking back, they agree that it was a good business move, and they were, in fact, ahead of their time. As far as the reason behind why a follow-up album was never released, both women have spoken about it all stemming from the legal issues they faced over the group's name. Management did not do their due diligence to get the name trademarked, and they ended up getting sued over it. Sadly, not only could they not continue with the name, but everything they'd worked for up to that point came crashing down. Even their CDs were pulled from stores since they were not allowed to distribute it under the name. They did move on to another record label, but even though they had begun to work on new material, the issues they had going on were just too much to handle, and they instead went their separate ways. Nikki moved on and created her own company called Nikki Poo Music. She serves as project manager, artist developer, and music consultant, helping aspiring artists along their journey. She also became a mother. She's active on social media via Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. She's also the creator of a private relationship-focused Facebook group based on a series of books she's written called Not Wifey Material. She's even ventured into the beverage industry and is currently working on a premier brand of cocktails made with only natural ingredients called Envy. In 2020, her life was turned upside down with a serious medical issue. She initially went in to have a minor surgical procedure, but it was then found out that she had stage 4 cancer of the small intestine. Thankfully, after chemotherapy treatment, she can now add the title of cancer survivor to her name. 7 years after Divine broke up, Kia would audition for the 6th season of the singing competition television series American Idol. She blew away the judges with her rendition of Aretha Franklin's Ain't No Way. Even Simon Cowell said she was the best audition of the day. Unfortunately, she was eliminated during the Hollywood rounds. During the period between the end of Divine and the start of her American Idol experience, Kia actually slipped into a depression. The success of their debut album did allow the group to tour and perform for profit for a short time, but once the novelty fell off, naturally, so did the money. She eventually had to swallow her pride and get a regular 9-to-5 job where no one knew who she was, since Divine's songs and music videos were still on heavy rotation on TV and radio. In a Facebook interview with Vibe Sessions in April 2021, she spoke about all the emotions she was feeling at the time.
It was very depressing for me. So just one day we were stars and one day we weren't, right? One day we were still, even after we lost our deal, we were still traveling and doing shows overseas, and that's where the money was coming from. And that even stopped. One day I had I don't know, maybe at that time, $50,000 in the bank. And then, I turned around, it was like $200 and I was trying to figure out how to pay my last car note, so at that point, speaking for myself personally, at that point, that's when I said, I have to get a job.
Kia ended up going back to school, got married, and went on to have 3 daughters. Now divorced, she spends her time focused on her children as well as her business. She started a company called Mommy Power, whose focus is uplifting, encouraging, and inspiring women and mothers. Tanya Tash is a busy traveling nurse and has teenage twin boys. She does have an Instagram account, but it is set to private. Last winter, the group was hoping to release a new single, but life got in the way with COVID-19, traveling, and the political climate created by the recent elections. Today, they're still working on new material and thinking about putting together an anniversary album. They feel like the timing couldn't be better since so many other 90s R&B stars have been reviving their careers in the 2010s. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any future videos. See you next time!